The story of painting. People have been painting pictures for tens of thousands of years. In the past, they painted them directly onto the walls of their caves, temples, or houses. Artists have since experimented with different styles of painting. They developed vibrant paints and created engaging images on paper and canvas. Painters continue to be inspired and influenced by artists from the past. c. 30,000 BCE. Animal cave art. Stone Age hunters paint the walls of caves with images of animals such as lions, bulls, and rhinos, possibly as part of hunting rituals. These horse images are from Chauvet Cave in France. c. 3000 to 300 BCE. Egyptian tomb painting. In ancient Egypt, paintings cover the walls and ceilings of the tombs of pharaohs and nobles. Deceased people are portrayed performing everyday tasks or making offerings to the gods. Senefer's burial chamber. Nobleman Senefer is depicted with his wife. c. 100 BCE to 100 CE. Roman wall paintings. The Romans brightened the rooms of their houses with wall paintings, known as murals. These are sometimes painted to give the illusion of looking through a window at a scene beyond. Portrait of Venus. This wall painting was buried during the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 CE. 960 to 1279 CE. Chinese landscapes. During the Song dynasty in China, artists paint beautiful landscapes, often of mountains or water, expressing love of the natural world. Snowy Landscape by Fan Quan. c. 960 to 1030. c. 1100. Medieval icons. Icons are painted images of holy Christian figures such as Jesus. They are common in the Eastern Orthodox Christian Church, a Catholic religion practiced in Eastern Europe and Asia. Our Lady of Vladimir. Artist unknown. c. 1100. c. 1305. Italian fresco. Italian artist Giotto paints a series of religious frescoes, wall paintings made on fresh plaster before it dries, in a softer, more realistic style than the stiff, flat images found in earlier medieval art. The Last Supper by Giotto, c. 1305. c. 1430. Painting with oils. Oil paints, made by mixing pigments with flaxseed or walnut oil, are introduced in Europe, possibly from Asia. One of the first Europeans to paint with oils is Flemish painter Jan van Eyck. The Arnolfini Portrait by Jan van Eyck. 1434. c. 1503. Renaissance masterpiece. Italian Renaissance painter Leonardo da Vinci paints the Mona Lisa, a hauntingly lifelike portrait of a young Italian woman. Da Vinci is one of the most influential artists of all time. 1601. Baroque painting. Dramatic use of light and shade, chiaroscuro, and depth perspective are typical of the Baroque style of art. The Supper at Emmaus by Caravaggio shows Jesus after he has risen from the dead. c. 1610 to 1620s. Mughal miniatures. As the Mughal Empire flourishes in India, miniature paintings full of color and detail become popular. They are made as book illustrations, personal portraits, or for keeping in art albums. Squirrels in a Plane Tree by Abu Hassan. c. 1610. 1642. Dutch Golden Age. Rembrandt van Rijn is the most famous painter of the Dutch Golden Age, a time of prosperity in the Netherlands. His painting The Night Watch is characteristic of art at the time, full of color and realistic detail. 1700s. History painting. Great scenes from history or from Greek and Roman legends, painted in a neoclassical style that looks back to the past, are popular topics in 18th century Europe and the US. The Death of General Wolfe by Benjamin West. 1770. c. 1780 to 1850. Romanticism. Artists of the Romantic era are inspired by nature and how it makes them feel. British painter Turner is admired for his depictions of the shimmering effects of sunlight, as in his 1839 painting The Fighting Temeraire. c. 1860 to 1890s. Impressionism. Artists in Paris paint scenes of everyday life outdoors. They do so spontaneously, rather than in a studio from sketches. They come to be known as Impressionists, and include Monet, Renoir, and Degas. The Japanese Footbridge by Claude Monet. 1899. c. 1886 to 1905. Post-Impressionism. Artists like Van Gogh, Cézanne, and Gauguin add their own ideas to those of the Impressionists. They experiment with using bold blocks of color, often applying paint very thickly. Sunflowers by Vincent van Gogh. 1888. c. 1907 to 1908. Cubism. Spanish artist Pablo Picasso creates a way of showing objects from different angles all at once, known as Cubism. This style is a forerunner of abstract art. Juan Gris. Juan Lagoa. 1911. c. 1910. Abstract art. Artists begin to move away from depicting reality, finding a new kind of art that reflects the changes that are occurring in science and technology. They use simple shapes, colors, and lines to create effects. Composition by Piet Mondrian. 1921. 1928. American Modernism. Georgia O'Keeffe is a significant American modernist artist. Best known for her studies of flowers and cityscapes, such as East River from the 30th story of the Shelton Hotel. 2002. Contemporary art. British artist Lucian Freud is one of the leading painters of the late 20th century. He enjoys painting friends and family, and exploring how to paint skin tones, such as in this portrait, Woman with Eyes Closed.